My name is Percy Jackson.
Welcome back to another episode of Two Wise Girls. Also, just to be a little topical for a second, to give you an idea of the craziness of like global warming in the United States, right now it is currently
politics.
Shut up. Right now it is currently like 86 degrees in California. And what's the weather like where you're at, Shannon?
The entire state of Wisconsin is pretty much shut down because we had a snowstorm where people are getting 2 to 4 feet of snow throughout the entire state. Like, the part where I live is the only part of the state that has functioning highways. Like, we're the lucky ones, and we got like 6 inches of snow because the rest of them have like 25 inches of snow. And a week ago it was 75 degrees and we were going out for ice cream.
This is like so crazy just conceptually to me because like I'm over here on the West Coast in California. Shannon's Great Lakes Midwest. I never know what to call that area.
Earth,
yes, we're all on Earth. But right now we're going through a heat wave in California. It is supposed to dip back down into like I think the 60s, maybe even next. It's gonna be like mid to high 80s all week, buddy.
That's not that warm.
Do you have heat resistance? Fire resistance?
Nope.
That's warm.
It's pretty warm. We're definitely like feeling it a little bit today. So yeah, we're feeling
it now, Mr. Krabs.
I'm feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. More D&D rules, yes.
So, and we will start with advantage and disadvantage.
Okay, start with what kind of situations you get advantage or disadvantage.
Let's say you're attacking a creature and you roll a nat 20 for hitting. You get advantage on your attacks, which basically means you roll twice and get the highest. You roll twice and pick the highest.
Yes.
And disadvantage, it's kind of the opposite. You roll twice and get the lowest.
Yeah, and I would say depending on if you're a demigod, for example, depending on what godly parent you choose, I think that there would probably be also natural advantages and disadvantage. Because I feel like, for example, if you're a child of Poseidon, I feel like you should kind of get automatic advantage if you're in the sea, like if you're touching the sea. Does that make sense?
Then if you're a child of Zeus, you get advantage when touching the sky.
When touching the sky, that's a little too ambiguous. Maybe when you're flying.
How do you fly as a...
It's a rare ability that Zeus children can have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or if you have the thing. I forget what it's called that Thalia has. If it's like storming out, maybe.
Oh yeah, something that can conduct lightning, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll definitely write up a chart for this for each of the demigod kids, but it feels like there's some situations where you'd have it like, you know, per your parents' like abilities. And also disadvantages, I would say too, because think of like in the books, Percy doesn't like being in the sky, and so like you'd probably have disadvantage on a sky attack if you're a Poseidon child, for example.
He can't be in the sky.
I mean, he does with only on Pegasi, so
which is the safe zone too. Horses are good.
Horses are good, but situationally, it can also happen. Like if you get a curse or some sort of reward, right, William?
Yes.
Yes. So you could be cursed or rewarded, and then as he said, it's essentially you roll twice. You take higher or lower depending on if it's advantage or disadvantage.
So next is proficiency. So depending on, I think your class could be raised by, I think it's class. You get different skills, and so while you still use your like stat like. So, for example, there's athletics.
Mm-hmm.
There's strength athletics checks. So, basically, if you have a +1 to your athletics, then you get a +1 to, but a -1 to strength. Your athletics checks are going to be +0, so they're going to be exactly what you rolled.
Mm-hmm.
And there's different ones for different stats. And you can actually use them to be good at stuff you normally wouldn't be good at.
Well, and certain demigod children could potentially have proficiencies, like, innate to them. So, Athena children, would it be intelligence or wisdom? I always forget the difference, William.
That's not proficiency, that's just higher stats. They would be better at, probably survival, that would make sense.
Survival, okay. Well, a couple of the wisdom ones fit for Athena kids, too. Perception would fit, and survival. The setup with Percy Jackson is one where you kind of can metagame. What he means by that is that you already know, like, all of the rules.
You know stuff that your character wouldn't.
Yeah, you know stuff that your character wouldn't, but you
like casting fire spells on a Hydra and you've never seen a Hydra.
Yeah. So because you would know the myth of Heracles, and you would know you have to cauterize the wound, so you would go in knowing that thing. Unfortunately, we can't really worry too much about metagaming because all your character has to know in order to get the monsters is to know the myths.
So, next is combat actions. So when you're in combat, you can move, and then you can do a combat action. And then the different combat actions you can do are, you can attack.
Mm-hmm. But every demigod kid ends up getting a weapon. So I feel like melee weapons would be an obvious attack.
Yeah. Like Percy using Riptide is like his weapon, or Clarice spear. That's the word I was thinking of. Or yes. Clarice using her spear, or Thalia using hers, Annabeth using her dagger.
You can cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
You can dash, which basically lets you move again. You can disengage, which makes it so if you're running past someone, you don't get hit.
Mm-hmm.
You can dodge, which makes it harder for you to get hit.
Mm-hmm.
You can help, which basically lets you, like, say, if your partner's attacking someone, you can help them attack them instead of attacking.
Okay.
You can hide with a stealth check.
Mm-hmm.
You can ready an action, which means it lets you attack in between your turn and your next turn.
Okay.
Or do something else. So, like, for example, if there are Stymphalian birds,
okay,
which are crows, and your entire party's, like, not wearing metal armor except for your paladin, and you're like a ranger or a spellcaster, and you can't, and they're out. If you're like a spellcaster and they're out of range of your spell after moving, instead of like doing something else, you can ready so that when they attack the paladin, you attack them as they're going for the paladin.
Okay.
You can search.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use an object. So that would be like switching from your sword to your bow.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Alright, what's next? Grappling and shoving is next. Alright, so you can make... So for grappling and shoving, you can make a strength athletics check against either your opponent's strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics.
Okay.
And grappling, you just like hold them, but shoving, you can either knock them prone or push them away.
Does it depend on what the roll is?
No, you get to choose whether you push them, whether you knock them prone or push them 5 feet away from you.
And then you roll for it to see if it was successful.
Yes.
Okay.
Which could actually lead to some interesting stuff, because you could, like, Oh yeah, I forgot improvised actions. You can do something that you normally wouldn't be able to do. Like, you could throw a potion onto the ground. Don't throw it at your party members, because that'll hurt them.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with certain things.
You throw them at the ground next to them, because not only do you not hurt them, now there's traps in the monster's way.
Okay.
Alright, so...
Mm-hmm.
Opportunity attacks. So, if someone walks out of your range, you get a free attack on them.
Mm-hmm.
Attack types are acid, bludgeoning, which is like a hammer, cold, fire, force, which is just like magic, lightning, necrotic, piercing, which is like an arrow, poison, psychic, radiant, which is like...
Radiant's kind of like a light attack, like similar to the bow of light in like Zelda games. It's a light-based attack.
Slashing, which is like sword.
Yeah.
And thunder, which is different from lightning.
How's thunder different from lightning?
It's sound.
Oh, okay. And some of those translate to demigods pretty well, right? I don't know that anyone has ice powers. Or poison powers.
Water.
It's water. I mean, water, yeah, but...
It says limited.
Does he freeze that? It says limited on the wiki. He might do something with ice in the later books that we haven't gotten to
I'm pretty
yet.
sure it's mostly going to be the 3 non-magic ones. So bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Well, we don't have any Hades kids in this setup, so necrotic is out, but that would potentially be a Hades kid one.
Alright, and then...
Lightning and thunder would be Zeus. Water/ice could be Poseidon. Fire would be Hephaestus.
Okay, can I do the next one now?
Yeah.
Alright, so 0 hit points. So when you get to 0 hit points, if there's 2 things that can happen. If the attack would have killed you a second time, then you just instantly would have dropped you to 0 hit points a second time, then you would instantly die. But if you would have lived, if it would have only killed you once, then you fall unconscious. So when you're knocked unconscious and start your turn with 0 hit points, you make death saving throws. So if you get a 10 or above, you succeed, and if you get below, you fail.
Yeah.
And 3 fails means your character dies.
So we'll remind everybody of all of the like dices and how the points and stuff work as we're going through it. But yeah, as he said, essentially, if you get to 0 and it's a situation where you could possibly be revived, you have to try to make a high roll in order for that to count, in order for you to be able to do it.
And also, if you get hit while you're making your death saving throws, you get a fail. And if it's a crit, you get 2 fails.
If you have a cleric on your team, though, or if you have a healer on your team, they can go on their team to heal you, though, right?
Yes, they can heal you. You could... Alright, so next is KOing a creature, which means if you use a melee attack, you can knock a creature out instead of killing it.
There's not a good equivalent with that in Percy Jackson, because when you hit a creature with celestial bronze, which most of the weapons are going to be, it's kind of an instant kill. Anything else? What does it say about underwater combat?
So, if you don't have a normal swimming speed and you're making a melee attack, you have disadvantage.
Okay.
if you don't have a listed swimming speed, which means that you'll have half the normal speed.
Okay.
Because that's what happened by default.
But we're not using movement speeds for this because we're not going to have a live board. So.
We're not?
I mean, unless you want to do research into a live board for next time.
Okay. And then a ranged weapon attached automatically misses.
Ranged attacks miss in the sea. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Also, there's one more thing. If you're making a ranged attack and you're within 5 feet of the opponent, you get disadvantage.
Is it because it's silly to use a ranged attack when you're in close combat?
No, it's because it's ineffective. Even if it's more likely to hit, it's not going to do much.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I had told William we'd work on character sheets.
It'd be more effective to stab someone with an arrow than shoot them at point blank.
That is true. I was going to let William work on character sheets. He can attest for this. He tried, but he cannot get my phone long enough to finish them. I always have my phone, or I always need it. So we tried while we were out, and then...
Yeah, because Wordle is so necessary.
Yeah, I started playing Wordle.
Strands is better.
Yeah, so he is going to come up with character sheets for Percy, Annabeth, and Grover, because they are going to be at least minor characters. I haven't decided how I want us to be going on the quest. I'm not sure if I need character sheets first in order to decide that, or if I kind of just want to come up with a story and it doesn't matter who the characters are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I've already talked. It's probably going to be a fetch quest. We're fetching something along the Sea of Monsters. My mind immediately wants to go to, like, Circe's Island. But I know there's more Circe's Island that we haven't read yet. So I'm scared of saying too much that hasn't been explored just yet.
Well, what I was going to say was, I was trying to think of something that one of the main trio would need that they, like, lost when they were in the Sea of Monsters or something to give us a reason to go there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can think of something. But the Circe's Island thing, it's mentioned in the books that we're reading now eventually, but you learn, like, what happened to it, but you don't really know anything else about it. So you can say whatever and do whatever you want, really. There isn't that much there to like mess up.
The other thing that we could talk about with him really quick while we have him is that we did just finish Titan's Curse. And so, yeah, this, of course, as you guys know, is now my third time reading it. First time was when it first, like, more closer when the books came out. Second time was for the pod. And then this third time read through for, like, with William. But also, one thing I've been doing, and I don't really have a place to share these at the moment, but if anyone's interested, is I've been creating Google Maps and trying to put every single place that is mentioned in the books, because Shannon and I have this dream of one day doing Percy Jackson road trips. And so I was trying to get just that collection together of these are all of the named places in Percy Jackson. These are all of the places that actually exist. Some of them, not as much as others, like Crowdcroft, for example, which is the city that they're in just before they go to the junkyard. It's the one where Grover feels the presence of the wild and the boar comes. With that one, for example, Rick put that they were on Main Street when Bianca and Percy were standing there talking. There's not a Main Street in Crowdcroft. And so I tried my best with some of these. Like, it's kind of funny because I searched Main Street Cloudcroft in Google Maps, and then it actually took me to, I forgot what the name of the city is, but it's whatever city that the shopkeeper was like, oh, you could probably go down there and get a taxi. Yeah, so it's a very small town, and honestly, looking at some of these on Google Maps is quite interesting to just see the locations that he's talking about. Because I actually am not very well traveled when it comes to the US. So for me, it is kind of experiencing, all of these sites, these monuments, these museums are in all of these different places.
She'll add those to our Google website, and that's in our information down below if you want to see that, because it is fun to see like picturing in your mind, like on an actual map, where they go and how far, especially for the lightning thief.
Okay, since William doesn't want to be done quite yet, I did want to talk to him about the ending of Titan's Curse. So for those of you that are show only watchers, this is also good timing for you to skip ahead to the next section. But since we just finished Titan's Curse,
also
yeah,
ranged attacks have two different ranges, normal range and long range. In long range, you get like disadvantage, but you can still hit. And then also melee attacks use strength, while ranged attacks use dexterity, unless the melee weapon is a finesse property.
Okay. All right.
You can continue now.
Yeah, so can I ask you some questions about Titan's Curse?
What?
Okay, so what do you think was the biggest bombshell in the book?
What's a bombshell?
Like a thing that happened that had you like, whoa, can't believe that happened.
Like surprising, shocking moment kind of thing.
I mean, the fact that Annabeth's parents were nice.
Oh yeah, the fact that Frederick Chase and then the stepmom seemed nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think Dr. Chase is supposed to be the type who's just so busy he doesn't realize he's being a neglectful parent. And unfortunately, that seems to be Athena's type.
Yep.
Okay, so I noticed that you took one line in the prophecy very literally when it came up. And I had this same exact read when I first read it.
What?
That is, someone will be lost in the land without rain. Do you want to talk about that, bud? Were you shocked that Bianca was actually dead?
No, she's definitely not.
You don't think she is?
No.
Okay. And I have to ask you this one because it's a fandom debate. Did Percy promise Nico that he would protect Bianca?
I do not remember that at all in the book.
Yeah, so this is a whole fandom debate of did he actually promise it? I believe his exact words were, I'll try my best, because he knew he couldn't promise it.
He even says, like, I can't promise something like that.
Yeah. You're hungry? Okay, well, you can stop and eat some more. He already had dinner, I swear.
I did.
I know you feed him.
He's just at that stage of puberty where he's always hungry. All right,
yeah,
why don't you say bye first, William? Bye. All right, that's it for William's portion. Oh, jeez. That is life with teenage boys.